Hello, welcome. My name is Mary Jo. Welcome to this summit where we're hosting 22 authors of Gifts of Wisdom. And I'm here with my co-host, Ilene Dillon. Welcome, Ilene. And today we will be sharing another wonderful author from the book, Gifts of Wisdom. So I welcome you now to this Gifts of Wisdom Summit, featuring the conversations from the authors of the newly published book, Gifts of Wisdom, Practices for Healing and Empowerment by David D. MacLeod, released last month. Be sure to grab your copy on Amazon. See the link below in this video for that. And this incredible collection showcases 22 authors who each share their inspiring stories and powerful practices to empower and uplift. And the interview title today is A Trailblazer, Living a Life Powered by the Soul. And what you can expect to take away from this conversation today is, imagine once upon a time in a far distant heaven, or maybe close by, depending on where you are, you existed as pure love and joy, your divine self in its most radiant form. In the journey from that realm to this physical world, you may have become distracted, forgetting the incredible divinity that resides within you. But now it's time to remember and connect with that eternal magic you carry in your heart. Today, Gwenda will reveal simple, practical steps to help you align with your true divine self, guiding you back to the profound love and joy that has always been yours. Amen and hallelujah to that. Welcome, Gwenda.
It's my privilege to introduce you, Gwenda. I'm sorry. And I'm Ilene Dillon. I'm the author of Chapter 12. And you are the author of Chapter 10. We're close together in the book. And the title of your chapter is Embracing Your Heart's Wisdom, a Journey to Abundance and Serenity. And here's what you've offered us to introduce yourself to our audience. Growing up with a mother who was always sick and unhappy, Gwenda determined at an early age she wouldn't live her life that way. She's a trailblazer and unconventional practitioner with a proven track record of success over 30 years. Through her techniques and approach, she teaches us how to make decisions and choices which enrich our lives and help us achieve all that we dream and hope for. She will provide you today with tools, and in her chapter, tools and easy to follow steps to embrace the magic of your divine self, to embrace optimum health, peace, happiness, and wellness. So, Gwenda, welcome to our Gifts of Wisdom Summit. We're very happy to have you.
Thank you, Ilene. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mary Jo. It's an absolute, incredible, humbling pleasure to be here with you and to also be part of David MacLeod's dream book. It is a dream that is brought into reality, and it's such a joy to be part of it.
Wonderful. I'm excited for this conversation. And first question is, what was the greatest gift and surprise during the Gifts of Wisdom process, bringing this dream into reality?
It was a process, all right, if you want to use a systemed word, and one that at first was a little bit like, oh my gosh, what have I got myself into? But then with David's approach and his very strict guidelines, comes from his military background, I think, it actually helped. And then what came out of that was the most amazing connections with beautiful souls. And it's, to me, it is an answer to a prayer, because I had been asking Lord God Almighty, bring to me, put me in front of those who are of the same ilk, those who understand what I'm about, what I share, and those who can share back with me on the same language or in the same heart space. And lo and behold, through this process, got to sit in the monthly meetings where I was able to and got exactly that. So that to me is the most precious part of being part of this, is meeting yourself, Ilene, David, all the other authors over the period of time, and to feel their energy, see them, see how they present in this life. And that's been the best part of this. Aside from being #1 best-selling international authors, that was the best part.
The icing on the cake.
I totally agree with you, Gwenda. I think we got so much out of those twice a month meetings where everybody, I think what people may not realize unless they read every single word is that the authors in this book are from the English speaking parts of countries all over the world. Mary Jo, you're originally from Ireland, and now you've been in New Zealand, and now Australia. You're from Australia. I'm from the U.S. Sarah's from the United Kingdom. We got to know each other, and I think for me, realizing that we're a group of people. There are people all over this world who are working to uplift us, and you, Gwenda, are certainly a part of that as you talk about working from your heart. So is there something you're really excited about sharing with us today? Is there something you particularly want us to hear?
Oh, thank you, Ilene. That is actually a tough question because there are so many facets, as you both know, to how we can reach our divine connection, how we can really find our own divinity. And for me, that is truly exciting, to be able to unite yourself with your divine self, to really come to know yourself beyond the physical suit, beyond what you've been taught, maybe what you believe. To really come into that divinity is incredible, and it is my favorite place to be.
Wow, thank you.
Beautiful. So what have you got to say to those people and just in general, seeing the world and just feeling like the world around me is in chaos? And how do you see that? How do you see, or how can you share about how to be in alignment with our divinity when we perceive us around us?
It's a good question, Mary Jo, especially with the way that the world has been, particularly for the last 4 years. If I stay on a human level for a moment, if we look back through what we believe is the history of this world, really it's pretty gloomy. We haven't learnt a whole lot when it comes to peace, harmony, tolerance, acceptance. But there's those of us, as Ilene said, and we have been in every moment, every day, every century of this world's existence. And we've been here to bring that light through and to always take everyone back to their heart, to give them the opportunity to know. So in that, what I'm saying is, no matter the chaos, no matter how you feel about what is around you, take a moment to pause, step away, find a place that is of nature. Why nature? Because it's God's creation, as are you. And it is what is real. And you stand before a tree or a beautiful flower, and if you can immerse yourself in that, you will find a divine spark. You will also find a beautiful sense of peace that just sweeps over you and sweeps through you. So any moment where you feel like the chaos is getting too much, that is one very simple thing that you can do. And also the pause, just taking a pause to breathe. Step into a beautiful breath and know that that breath is one way that you can actually step into a different realm. You can move your sense of self into a different space through using the breath. And guess what? Both of those things are free. They don't cost you a cent. And they also don't cost you a lot of time. So moving out of chaos, two very simple things to do. The other thing I'd like to ask you to do is to really have a look at how you're thinking. Take a moment to bin the things that really don't serve you, that aren't helping you to feel a sense of joy, a sense of peace. So if you can imagine that you have a shredder machine or you've got a big fire pit, and throw those thoughts that aren't working for you, that don't lead you to your heart or don't allow you to feel peaceful, and shred them or put them in the bin. And then decide how you're going to step forward. So if you've stepped under a tree, for example, and you're taking in the pure oxygen the tree offers and the vibration the tree offers, when you're going to step out of that, see, I've got a very close connection with the elemental kingdom, the fairies. So you step out of their realm when you've been under a tree, then best you decide, am I going to be a trailblazer? Am I going to step into some power that's sourced from my soul and the divine? Or am I going to step out of there feeling like I've still got a big heavy backpack and immediately see all the chaos? Or am I going to choose to see through God's eyes, where I can see divinity all around? And what do I want to express from my heart? What do I want to hold in my energy as I move through the day, move through people? Those are the steps that I would like you to think about, to carry in your day, to begin your path to be your own trailblazer and to have that divine union with yourself and with what I refer to as God.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Wow.
When you were talking about the shredder there, I was thinking, managing, like there's a real sense of management, of going, like being very practical about it and going, okay, this is what's not helpful here. If we're looking at the household or a business or anything, it's just getting that practical about it as well, as spiritual as it is and energetic and all that wonderfulness. But there is I love that groundedness of practicality that I feel that you really brought in through your speaking there. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Mary Jo. I'm a big fan of simple and practical. There's enough confusion and complexity. Life isn't meant to be that way. Simple and practical, sensible.
I certainly support that approach. I feel that way about my work also, Gwenda. And I'd like to continue with this practicality. I'm getting older, as we all are, but I may be the oldest person in this project. And you're talking about aligning with my divine self. And I want to ask you how aligning with my divine self could help me heal any health issues that I might have.
Oh, now you're really stepping into a favourite part of my territory, Ilene.
Me too.
Age means nothing. It means nothing to the soul. The soul is ageless. So when you are in divine union with your true essence, which I refer to as the soul, you can draw upon its incredible, amazing ability to heal. Now, when we say heal, I just want to say here that some things that we experience in this world are not always of this world for healing. They can actually be healed in the next life, in the next level, as you transition through the phases, if you like, or levels of heaven. There's a favourite part of heaven that I call hospital in heaven. It's the healing plane. So some things that we experience here aren't always up for healing here, and there's a lot to that. It depends on the self, where you're at. But in answer to your question, Ilene, when you live the way you do, in alignment with your divine self, you can call upon that power and unite it with God's light to heal anything that is going on in the physical body, anything. What underpins that is your trust, belief, and faith. So as we age, the physical body, being an organic creation, is going to naturally deteriorate. You know, nothing that is fresh and alive stays that way forever, right? It's all going to perish, as does our physical body. However, we can get this vehicle, this beautiful organic vehicle, to be as well as we want it to be in any given moment on any day, simply by willing it. And I mean that, people, by willing it. You will that your body will function for you today at the best capacity for all that you have to do. And this is where intentions come in. The way that you carry your intentions, the way you carry your energy is what brings things into the physical. So as we age and we're moving through life, those intentions become perhaps a little bit more of a daily must do. Don't really like those two words, but a daily practice, and keeping them simple. For example, Eileen, in your lungs, I see there is a diminished capacity in there that has come from some years back. There is still a hold on a piece of grief that's there. So any time that we have held on to anything in our life and it has placed itself, or we've carried it in the body, as we age, it is going to come forward and create an issue for us or restrict us in some way. So when we hold grief in the lungs, as we age, we become more prone to things like bronchitis, maybe pneumonia, or a lung infection. So when you become aware of the things that you're carrying, this is where you can heal them, make peace with them, and release them, and then the body can breathe easier. So I'm saying breathe easier because in your case it's in the lungs. Other people carry things in their kidneys and find they have lots of kidney infections, bladder infections, and that is all around the fear and projecting into a place that has happened, is going to happen again. So they're drawing on an experience that they've had and feel it's going to happen again. So all of that convoluted energy sits in the kidneys, creates issues on the adrenal glands. So if we want to have a strong, well life going into our older years, it's really important that we know ourselves intricately, that we really understand how we have worked through the things that have come to us in our life and what we're holding on to. When we release those, make it a daily thing to check in with your body and find out what little treasures you've parked away in different parts of the body, and decide to release them, and release them with compassion, love. And the key is forgiveness. And it's not necessarily forgiveness to someone else or an experience. It's forgiveness to the self, because we are so hard on ourselves. We berate ourselves for, why didn't I do better? What was I thinking at the time? Oh, I should have done this. That doesn't help. So pouring love and kindness to ourselves and accepting, well, that's what it was, and that's what I made the decision of at the time. Didn't work too well, but hey, I'm here now, and that's no longer part of my life. So it doesn't need to leave an energetic stamp on my physical self anywhere. I hope that was helpful, Eileen.
You know, I'm so impressed. I want to validate this and thank you for your gift. When I was just about to turn 3, I was forcibly removed from my birth mother and never saw her again. And in the days that happened, children were assumed to heal themselves emotionally. Nobody ever gave me any, gee, we're sorry, or you must be sad, or whatever. And I have not had the idea that that would affect my lungs. So you have just given me a tremendous gift, and I want to validate that what you were seeing is correct for me. So thank you for that. Wow.
My pleasure.
Wow, wow, wow.
And I hope it brings tremendous healing for you.
I'm going to use it. I'll believe tomorrow morning.
Right. Begin a new path now. Always begin a new path. Why not? Yesterday's been and gone, it's done. So see what wisdom it can offer us, see what beauty it can offer us, and also look at the challenge. What's in that challenge? What can I expand with from that? How can I know myself more from that challenge, how I reacted to it? But you know, your experience, Eileen, is one that many of our people had, many people around the world had, and my heart goes out to you. I feel it. I know it. Much love to you and to little Eileen. And she just needs you to take a hold of her and hug her up. Pour heaps of love into her. Let her little chest be free.
Yep. Thank you. That just adds that I've been aiming toward that and doing some of that for 80 years now. So, this is really helpful because, and this is something I think is really important when we're healing spiritually and in the world, is that we realize that we're constantly in a place of learning. And when we open ourselves and learn the way you're describing, then our lives work better, our health is better, and so forth. And so I'm so appreciative of what you're sharing and what you shared in your chapter as well. Okay, Mary Jo, I'm done.
Pleasure.
Wonderful. Yeah. So this question shines out at me to ask, just because, the anxiety and the overwhelm and all this that's going on, that can be scary. And can you shine some light on what creates anxiety and overwhelm, and how that relates to aligning or misaligning with the divine self?
Love your use of words, Mary Jo. Shine the light. Shine the light, we will. And why shine the light for everyone that's listening? Because it's the light that is what is healing. It's the light that you come from. And I just want to expand on that and say, as you sit and listen to us speak today, I will bring through divine healing light. And if you would like to visualize that, it is the most incredible white blue. And it also has a gold with it. Mary Jo, to answer you, I'd like to take everyone on a little story of a real life experience, and that's where I draw all of my wisdom from, really, aside from this ancient old soul. I was sitting in a courtroom many years ago. It was a murder trial, and I knew the person in the dock. I'd been praying for truth and justice. I'd been praying before the trial started, and I prayed every day. On this particular day, I'll come back to that. On this particular day, it looked like the prosecution had won the jury over. And I was like, oh, no, this can't be. This can't be. And I just silently went within, all the hubbub in the courtroom. I silently went within and said, please show me that you hear me. Please show me that you're here. Now, this courtroom is over 100 years old. It's made of big boulders and limestone. Through the wall, not a window, through the wall came this beam of incredible gold light, a gold I cannot explain in this life, in this world. It came through the wall, across the courtroom, and went all over the person in the dock, and it lit the dock up.
Wow.
So when you find yourself in a place of anxiety or overwhelm, I ask you go inward. The projection that is coming to you, the way that you are feeling, is through your perception of what you're seeing. So I ask you to hold your hands either in prayer, which happens to be a very powerful practice, simply by placing your hands in prayer, or you can close them over this way and place them to your heart. Let your eyes go towards your heart, but please don't drop your head down. When you drop your head down, you close off your heart chakra. You also cause an issue in this biggest receiving center in the base of your neck. So simply let your eyes look towards your heart, breathe into your heart, and ask to see through the eyes of God. Ask to see through the wisdom of your soul. Let yourself take 3 breaths. Open your eyes softly. Don't open them with expectation to see or feel the same thing that was there. This can take a little while to get used to, get your head around, but I promise that if you make that a daily practice at any time you're feeling anxious or overwhelmed, it will shift the way you perceive what is taking place. We are the creators of our thoughts. Yes, there is a huge collective consciousness, but we can choose which part of that consciousness we're in any moment. Any given moment, you can shift your consciousness, your way of thinking, and what you want to see. Another part of that story that I would like to share, because it is so relevant to feeling hopeless, feeling in terrible stress, for other people in the family, tremendous anxiety and overwhelm, was the last day when you go away and you have to wait for the jury to come back with their finding or their decision. In my room, I will tell you, I walked in circles, I was in tears, and that was from absorbing others' hurt. It wasn't mine. I was trying to shield family members and help them because people couldn't breathe properly. The overwhelm of the situation had really caught up when that last final moment. And I went into prayer, and this beautiful voice sang in my ear, "We will not give you false hope, for a mother and child reunion is but one day away." And it still affects me. So he was acquitted. Truth and justice prevailed.
Wow.
You must know that you are not what you think you are, and that at any moment you can reach in for that incredible love and guidance that can take you out of overwhelm, anxiety in a moment. I hope that's answered you, Mary Jo.
Above and beyond, my dear Gwenda, above and beyond. Thank you. And through, that was profound and deeply moving. And thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and depth of connection and caring.
Thank you.
Yes, it's truly amazing. Yeah, I feel that way too. But I want to go off script and ask you this, because there's so much talk in the world about being joyful these days. And because of my early childhood experiences where I had to be on my own and I didn't get a lot of support, I've run into this issue, Gwenda, of wondering if I even can conceive of what joy is, much less bring it to myself. So can I ask you that question?
Absolutely, Ilene. And to me, this is so divinely led because I just had this conversation with my own son last night.
Oh my gosh.
Happy. Yep. Happy. So, you know, be happy. Be happy, everything will be okay. Happy is a state of emotion, and happy is something we can choose to be. Choose to be happy, choose to be angry. And you're happy. A new handbag makes you happy. Catching up with a friend can make you feel happy, but it's not joy. Joy is a whole different thing. And my answer to my son was, listen, there is only two things that your soul knows, and that is pure love and pure joy. Do we get to experience pure joy in this life? Oh, heck no. Because we're bombarded with all the other material things to bring happy. So when we want to reach a place of joy, that to me, Ilene, comes when you are in a deep place, a deep sense of harmony and peace. Because really they are the components of joy. And it's a sense of harmony and peace that nothing else in this world, the live world, can actually bring to us. Your soul radiates joy, but it gets smothered by life's experiences, by the hurts, like in your case, being removed at the age of 3. So the soul is smothered because of the emotions, and also, as I mentioned in what I shared, what you get in your energy from other people. So for you, Ilene, being placed with strangers, being placed with other people around, there's no chance for your joy to reach you, to come to you. I really encourage you and everyone else that would like to feel the joy to know that it will never be external. It is something you will find when you go deeply inward and sit with yourself. And I really encourage you to bring in divine love so that that expression of joy can be felt through you.
Thank you. Wow, that's this conversation is very profound. Thank you so much, Gwenda.
My pleasure, Ilene. My pleasure to be of service. Thank you.
Okay, Gwenda, after all the gifts you have shared with us in this conversation, I still understand that you have a gift for our audience, that the gift keeps giving.
It's the only way to be, isn't it? Yes, if you would love to know more, if you would like to learn more about the practices, then please do take up the link that will be provided for my complimentary gift of how to work with those practices for you, and that will be part of this this wonderful conversation in the summit.
All right, and the link is going to is below this recording in the show notes.
So, it will be,
Gwenda. Yes. So Gwenda, there are no words. What you've offered today is absolutely profound and wonderful. Yet, I'm going to ask you, do you have one more gem that you'd like to, gem of wisdom that you'd like to share with our audience today as your parting offering?
A gem of wisdom for everyone would be to make a point of sitting with your heart in true honesty. Be honest with yourself, how you're feeling, and listen and feel what your body answers you with. That would be my most favourite gem, Ilene. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And thank you so much for being with us today and for participating in this book. And Mary Jo and you and I are 3 of the 22 people. And once again, it's been a very high pleasure to interact together. And I'm sure people can get a little bit of the feeling in watching this conversation of what we've been enjoying for about the past year as we've gone through the process of writing this book. Every time we talk, somebody brings up something that just touches your heart or enlightens your soul, and it's such a gift. And I want to also thank David McLeod, our lead author, who has shepherded, I can't say it. He's helped us through this process.
He's been our shepherd.
And I'm grateful. Right, thank you. All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mary Jo. It's been lovely to sit with you both, Ilene and Mary Jo. A blessing.
Great. Thank you, Gwenda. We'll see you next time.
Yep, thank you to the audience for participating in this conversation. Thank you all.